to see the Aurora Borealis up close and personal. I'm here today to inform you about some of the interesting facts surrounding this amazing phenomenon. I'll start with what they are and how they are made. An aurora, also known as a polar light, is obviously displayed in the sky. It can be seen in the high latitude regions, such as the Arctic and Antarctic. Auroras are produced when the magnetosphere is sufficiently distributed by the solar wind that the trajectories of charged particles in both solar wind and magnetosphere plasma, mainly in the form of electrons and protons, precipitate them into the upper atmosphere where they actually lose energy. The resulting ionization and excitation of atmospheric constituents emits light of varying colors and complexity. The form of the aurora occurring within bands around both polar regions is also dependent on the amount of acceleration imparted to the precipitating particles. An aurora may appear overhead as a corona of rays at a pitch angle, which is the distance of radius of the electron from the field line. Visual forms of color are displayed throughout the aurora. They can appear very bright or barely visible. They can resemble curtains or quiet arcs. The auroral electrons are guided by the geomagnetic field and spiral around them while moving toward Earth. The colors of the aurora appear in this order. Red appears at the highest latitudes, green shows up at the lower altitudes, blue at an even lower one. Blue and purple emissions give off ultraviolet light, while infrared is part of many auroras. Yellow and pink are a mix of red and green or blue. Yellowish green and orange are rarely seen. Aurora noise is similar to a hissing or clacking sound, beginning at approximately 17 meters above the Earth's surface, and are caused by charged particles in an inversion layer of the atmosphere on a cold night. The charged particles discharge when particles from the sun hit the inversion layer, creating the noise. What causes an aurora to form? A full understanding of the physical process, which led to different types of auroras, is still incomplete, but the basic cause involves the interaction of the solar wind with the Earth's magnetosphere. The varying intensity of the solar wind produces effects of different magnitudes, includes one or more of the following physical scenarios. 1. A quiescent solar wind flowing past the Earth's magnetic sphere and steadily interacts with and can inject solar wind particles directly into the geomagnetic field that are open as opposed to being closed in the opposite hemisphere, and provided diffusion from the bow shock. The complete process, which also generates an electric ring around the Earth, is uncertain. Geomagnetic disturbance from an enhanced solar wind causes distortions of the magnetic substorms. Acceleration of the auroral charged particles invariably accompanies a magnetosphere disturbance that causes an aurora. Auroras happen because nitrogen and oxygen atoms, along with nitrogen-based molecules, get excited in the atmosphere. Now I'm going to explain the auroral solar wind with the Earth. The solar wind and the magnetosphere generate electric currents by dynamo action and impart energy from the solar wind. It is transferred by field lines of the magnetosphere. Earth's magnetosphere is shaped by impact of the solar wind on the Earth's magnetic field. The cusps of the magnetosphere separating geomagnetic field lines that close through the Earth from those that close remotely allow a smaller amount of solar wind to directly reach the top of the atmosphere, producing an auroral glow. Now I want to fill you in on auroral particle acceleration. The more rapidly the particles accelerate, the brighter the aurora. The electrons responsible for the brightest forms of the aurora are well accounted for by the acceleration in the dynamic electrical field of plasma. Turbulence encountered during precipitation from the magnetosphere into the auroral atmosphere. In contrast, the static electric fields are unable to transfer energy to the electrons due to their conservative nature. The electrons and ions causing the diffused aurora not to appear accelerated during precipitation. The increase in strength of the magnetic field lines toward the Earth creates a magnetic mirror that turns back many of the downward flowing electrons. The bright forms of the aurora are produced when downward acceleration not only increases the energy of precipitating electrons, but also reduces their pitch angle. Thank you.